Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to open up and disassemble this HP laptop. This is a model 17-CN1053CL. Alright, so most likely they're hiding little screws underneath these rubber feet, so we're going to have to peel those up. Let me get a thumbnail real quick here. Okay. Alright, so next we're going to go ahead and peel up these rubber feet. Okay, so you can see there's actually 4 screws hidden under here. Alright, so we'll go ahead and get those screws out. We're using a PH1 or JS1 screwdriver. You want to keep the screws in order because they can be different size, shape, and length. The way I do that is I put them flat side down like that on my desk in the pattern. I remove them. Alright, so we'll go ahead and continue removing them. I don't know if there's any hidden screws under there. There might be just in the corners. The reason why I think it's just in the corners is because they already have 2 screws here. But let's go ahead and peel this up and make sure. Okay. And yeah, it's only in the corners. Okay, again, remove all these screws. Don't forget all these silver ones as well. So you got 4, then you got these 2 here, okay? Then you got these 2 here, and then you got the other. So let me arrange the screws so I don't mix them up. All right, again, keep them in order. You don't want to mix them up because they can be different size, shape, and lengths, and if you mix them up, you can cause damage. In this case, they look to be about the same size, but again, it's always best to keep them in order just to be safe, okay? Sorry, the screws are getting all over the place. Let me... All right, I need to make sure I have room to show more of a close-up here. Okay, so this customer, their computer was running really slow, so we cloned it to an SSD, and now we're basically just swapping that out. All right, so now that we got all the screws out, usually the best way to open this, you want to carefully open the laptop here. Okay, so we're going to carefully, slowly open that. And then you're going to see this gap here. Oh, let me actually get a thumbnail of this as well. Okay, so you can get what the keyboard looks like. Okay. Just like that. Okay, so you can see the gap here between the keyboard and the palm rest. So usually we're going to go from there. I'll get my fingernails in that gap, and then we'll push on the bottom here. So we should be able to pop the clips this way, just like this. Let's see. There you go. Right, obviously you can use just regular pry tools, but I find being able to use my thumbs and my hand like that to be able to apply pressure that way works a lot better than pry tools. So now that we got the front out, we're going to go around the side and do the same thing. Okay. Again, I'm pulling with my fingernails outwards while pushing with my thumb down. And that popped up. We're going to go ahead and go on this side, do the same thing. Okay, this side pops out easier because there's not as many ports. Okay, you can see now this side came up, and then we're going to kind of just wiggle this as we kind of lift. Okay, as you wiggle, and eventually it should pop up. If not, you might have to pop this clip as well. See, yep, okay, we did have to pop that clip as well over the hinge. So here's the bottom cover. So you can see nothing really under there. Okay, now we have this. Okay, so there we go. We're gonna go ahead and pull the hard drive out. So if you wanna be safe, you can go ahead and pull the battery out. The battery is HW03XL, okay? There's 2 screws here along the top, and then you got 2 screws on the bottom, okay, on the outer corners. This does act as the CMOS BIOS RTC real-time clock battery, so keep that in mind because when you pull this out, the date and time is going to get reset. All right, after you remove the screws, you go from here, and then you just pull up. Let me zoom in a little bit to show you guys that better. Okay, go under there and pull up. You can see it pops out really easily. Again, HW03XL. Okay, here you can see, we'll show the little cables here. If you want to be extra safe, after disconnecting the battery, open the laptop carefully, slowly, because you want to go slowly because now the hinge has less screws holding it in place to help it. All right, and then press and hold the power button for at least 15 seconds. Since I'm only working with the hard drive, I'm not going to worry about that. If you're messing with these LCD LVDS connectors and stuff here, then you'll want to be very careful with that, okay? Anyways. All right, let's show a close up. You got the keyboard connector here. There's a flip latch. I'm not going to take it out because these things aren't having issues. Keyboard backlight connector here. Touchpad connector here, which connects to the touchpad there. Hard drive or 2.5-inch SATA SSD hard drive connector here. All right, we're going to take that out soon. There's this cable here, flip latch, that connects to the SD card slot and the USB port there. All right, you got the DC jack charge port connector here. It has wings on this connector. You kind of just wiggle as you pull to pop it out. It's underneath the hinge, so you will have to undo these screws and then open up the hinge slightly to get that out. If you can't open it up this way, after you undo the screws, open the laptop very slightly, then drop it back down. It'll make a gap, and then you can get in there and pull it up. All right, then the charge port is held in here. You just pull it out. Okay. Wireless card is here. There's only one antenna, but to remove it, you would undo this adhesive here, go from the tail and pull straight up. Some models of this has two fans. This one, since it only has the CPU, doesn't have the secondary fan. Some will have the GPU here. As you can see, these little solder balls. So there'll be a second chip. This is the CPU soldered to the motherboard. If you take the heatsink out, you do need to redo the thermal paste, so make sure you're not going to take this out unless you have thermal paste ready to go. Otherwise, your computer might overheat if you put it back together, and don't do that, right? Obviously, fan connectors there. Screws holding it in. Again, some models have a second fan here for the ones with the GPU. Then you got two slots for RAM. Let me go ahead and pull it out to tell you what type. You pull those two tabs to the side, it pops up, you pull it out like that. And this is PC4 3200AA, 8 gig RAM. All right, we're gonna go in at an angle here, and then we're gonna just click it down. Here you have the speaker connector here. And then I'm pretty sure there's a wire that goes underneath to this speaker here. Okay. Then you got it says webcam, but I'm pretty sure this is a screen cable, the LCD LVDS connector. There's a flip latch there. Again, if you're going to mess with this, make sure to pull the battery out, open the laptop, and press and hold the power button for at least 15 seconds. It looks like there's also an M.2 PCIe NVMe SSD slot here, but we cloned it to a 2.5-inch SATA SSD. So yeah, we're gonna swap that in. These kinds of SSDs tend to be a little bit faster, but then they're also a little bit more pricey. And depending on your use, if your processor's not that fast, it's not gonna really make a difference. Anyways, let's go ahead and remove the hard drive. So I flipped that latch up so we can get this cable out. Okay, it looks like it's just held in with rubber friction. So we're just gonna slowly lift that, and then we're gonna carefully lift and pull this out, okay? So here we have the hard drive caddy. We're gonna pull this connector out first. To get that out, I get my fingernail in the gap between the connector and this. So you can see I pry it like that, and then once it's coming out, we'll go on the other side and do the same. And you wanna be careful because you don't wanna damage this cable. Oh, it's held in with adhesive here, so you wanna peel that up and then pull that off. Okay, so this connector, it just comes out by flipping the wings out that way. These little rubber things go into the screw holes. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and put the back into this one. So just line it up. Again, the little rubber things just go into those screw holes. So just tilt it into place. All right, just like that. Now we're gonna go ahead and get this cable back in. It can only go one way, so make sure you match up the little L-shaped things. Then push that in, okay. Now we're gonna go ahead and line up this connector. Okay, get that in, and then latch that down. To clone it, oh, give me a second, I have a customer here. Okay, so anyways, we got that back in. All right, so everything should be into place. We do need to put the battery back in. So the battery, to get that in, you just line up the bottom first here, okay, like this, okay. Then you just push that into place. There you go. I like to always push these two to pinch the connector in as much as possible. And then we're just gonna get these screws down, all right. So we'll get this screw in, we'll get this screw in, we'll get this screw in, and the last screw right here, okay? There we go. Now we got all those screws in. We're gonna go ahead and get the bottom cover back on. Again, because we disconnected the battery, which is also the CMOS BIOS RTC real-time clock battery, it's gonna take a little extra while to boot because the BIOS settings get reset. We're gonna go ahead and push all of this back down, clip it all into place. I'm pushing down as well as into the middle, so that way the clips can latch in properly, okay? And now we're just gonna get all these screws back in, powered up, and we should be good to go. All right, hopefully this video helped you guys out. Again, if it did, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. All right, again, if you can't help out that way, it would help a lot if you could watch a few of my other videos and then like and comment on those as well, because that's what the algorithm likes to see. I also have another channel called It's Been Reviewed and More. If you could subscribe to that one, same profile picture but zoomed in. Basically just all my review videos. I'm currently posting those all on this channel as well, but in the future, eventually I'm going to just be posting them on there. At least that's the plan. So if you like those videos, make sure to subscribe to there in case I stop putting those onto the other one. All right, so we're almost done. Last few screws, we're going to power it up, and then we should be good to go. All right, so make sure you put this back on. I like to double check to see and make sure to put it back the same way. What I do is I'll get one side edge in, then we'll go to the other edge, and we'll line that up to the edge and put that all the way, and then all the slack, we'll just kind of work it into the middle, okay? That way you don't have it kind of stretching and pulling itself. Okay, we'll do the same thing with the one down here. Get that in, get that on, and get that on. And that's pretty much it. Make sure to push all the slack in again towards the center. All right, we'll flip this over, and we'll open it up, and we'll power it on. Power light is on, so we'll have to give it some time again. It's gonna say that the CMOS BIOS was reset. And yeah, that's usually what's going to happen. So we'll give it some time here. All right, be patient. If for some reason it still doesn't turn on, you might have done something wrong with the RAM, but here you go. Enter to restart the computer because the CMOS is invalid and will reset. So I'll press enter. Okay, again, if you did something wrong with the RAM, or the RAM's not in right, or the RAM's bad, the screen will stay black. If you try new RAM and other stuff and that doesn't work, then you might have done something to screw it up worse. But there you go. That's pretty much it. You can see it's booting. And yeah, again, hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, again, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Oh, it's on this. One other thing I recommend is to restart the computer one time. Okay, it's always a good idea to restart the computer after doing a big hardware change. I do need to turn Secure Boot back on because we turned that off when we were cloning the drive. So that's a F10 to go to the boot, not the boot, the BIOS. So you might have to push function F10 or just F10. We're gonna go to the boot options and secure boot. Oh, it's already enabled. Okay, so I didn't change it. So we should be good to go. All right, again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Let's drop this. Bye.